everybody, thank you for clicking on today's video. I kind of just wanted to talk about eyeshadow palettes because I feel like everyone feels like they need a new eyeshadow palette all the time, and with the exception of one, I really haven't bought a new eyeshadow palette and don't come for me like 5 years. And no, they're not expired. They're totally fine. None of them are expired. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't feel like powders. Powders, I don't. If they don't bother me, they're not expired, you know? But I kind of want to take you through my eyeshadow palettes that I have and that I use and like what I use them for and why I don't feel like I need a new one. Okay, first eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to go biggest to smallest, I think. We're going to start with the biggest. This is the OG Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. It really has like everything, almost everything. Has almost everything. The shimmers in here are so shiny. That sounds so stupid. The shimmers in here are great. The metallics in here are great. The mattes in here are super blendable, very creamy. Like this eyeshadow palette, when it came out, people lost their titties over because it was like the best formula Morphe had ever come out with. And honestly, the formula still slaps. Like it's still really great. I use it all the time. This is probably my go-to like everyday eyeshadow palette. I do tend to stick more to like right up here. Sometimes I'll dip into like these or these, but like the really warm tones and like the really like bright, I don't use a lot. I'm wearing some right now. Like this electric blue color right here is what's on my bottom waterline. I have this shade and this shade mixed on my lid. I have these in my crease. Like this is, if you want one palette to do everything, this is the palette. It really is. For the price and the amount of shadows that you get, this is the palette. And for the quality, especially if you like warm tones, like neutral to warm tones, because I will say the one thing that is not in here is cool tones. There are no cool tones anywhere in this palette because that wasn't the vibe when this came out. People weren't doing cool tone makeup back in like 2016, 2017 when this palette launched. But if I want to do like a little bit of color, this is what I'll grab because it does have those pinks, the purples, the greens, the blue, and like the red. And I don't do like crazy artistry color, so I don't, for me, like for a basic makeup wearer, that is not like a necessity for me to have. But it's a beautiful palette that has everything that you really could need. And I'll swatch some of the colors for you. I'll swatch two mattes. So that's like, they're so light, so blendable. This is one of like the like glitter. Like this is like a shade that's super creamy and has glitter in it. Stunning. This is just another shimmer shade right here. Like the formula goes hard. I will say, like it still goes hard even in 2023. Like this is giving. And even the deep shades, like that was one little like dip and swipe. Come on, like this is on, like it's one of the best formulas out there that I've tried. And it's in this Morphe palette, this Jaclyn Hill palette. She was that girl and she still is that girl. Like this, like, come at me for using it. I don't care. It's so good. And then because that palette doesn't have any cool tone palette, oh my God. And then because that palette doesn't have any cool tones, this is the one that I reach for when I need cool tones. This is the original Tarte Tartelette palette, not any of the In Bloom, Toasted, whatever, just the original Tarte Tartelette palette. It has cool tone browns, it has mauve-y purples, and it's all completely matte. So if you want to do a full matte look, this is it. If you like cool tones, this is your girl. So this, shimmers, warm tones, neutrals, super blendable. This is where I get my cool tones. My cool tone mattes are in here, which is really the only thing that this is missing. This makes up for. And the Tarte formula, come on. It's great. Super creamy, also very blendable. I will say the work time with these is a little bit less because they put down, you blend them out, and then like they're on there. Just like, I don't know what Tarte puts in their formulas. It's probably that Amazonian clay stuff, but like their blush and their eyeshadows, like they're not going anywhere. You're putting them on, they're staying. They are staying put. It is a dry formula, but it's good. It's good. I won't say that they're creamy mattes. They are not creamy mattes. They are dry mattes, but they'll blend for you and then they'll stay all day. Like, I'm blending them out, but they're gonna stay there. I have to wash this off. And I think that like purple on the eyes is so beautiful, and like every eye color, it brings it out. And so that's one of the reasons I absolutely love this. My go-to, if I'm just trying to do like maybe a brown and a mauve or a purple, this is the palette that I'm grabbing. And a lot of times if I want to do a look where I want like some shimmers or like some warm tones and some cool tones, I'll just grab both of these and then do most of my makeup looks are with these two palettes. And now this one's just a little bit more fun. This is the Colourpop Wild Nothing palette. The color that really drew me into this palette is, come on, it's this shade Seashells right here. It's this like green shimmer. Colourpop formulas like are so good. They're probably the creamiest eyeshadows at the drugstore is Colourpop, especially these two shades right here, Sultan and Spirited. These are the Super Shock shadows, and they just feel so soft and smooth. And then like the like shimmer scattered reflection that they give is so stunning. I am absolutely obsessed. And you'll see this has like one dark brown, but it has a lot of those like lighter but still color. It's not super neutral. It does have like some pinks and golds and peaches and browns. So like this also, if you're someone who likes like warmer colors or more like pink looks, I just got that all over my face, didn't I? Yep. Oh, please. Lovely. Lovely. God damn. So if you're someone who likes that and who isn't a fan of purple, then I would say just get this and not the Tartelette palette. If you don't love cool tones, you don't need the Tartelette palette. But if you like these sort of like orange, coral, peachy, pinky colors, this is your girl. This is her right here. It's just so good. And for the price, I think, so like this palette, I looked it up recently. There had to have been a price change. This now is like $45. And this is, I think, $18. So really it's up to price and preference. And I would recommend any of the Colourpop palettes because Colourpop shadows are just so good. So good. Not even just for drugstore, they're just good shadows. I feel like we're in a time also where like, it's hard to find a bad eyeshadow formula, you know? Like I feel like everyone's kind of gotten their hold on eyeshadow. So even if you're gonna go to the drugstore, you're gonna get like a Maybelline or like a Colourpop or an e.l.f. eyeshadow palette, like it's gonna be the same quality of spending like a $45 palette, you know? So if you're just like an everyday sort of simple eyeshadow makeup wearer, I would recommend either of these two palettes. This one if you like cool tones, and this one if you prefer like neutral and warm tones and you want some shimmers. If you're a all cool, all matte eyeshadow kind of gal, she got your back. And if you like more color and you want to have more fun and more choices with your eyeshadow looks, then I would recommend either of these two right here. This one if you just want like neutrals, and this one if you want neutrals and like a lot of other fun color options. And I feel like because this palette has like the purple, green, blue, red, and has those pops of bright color in it, and this one has the mute, and then I have these two as additionals that also have what the other one is missing. I feel like if I want to do like a bright yellow eyeshadow look, I just need to buy a single like bright yellow eyeshadow. And then I have everything else that I need to blend and do the rest of the look. And so that's why I haven't bought a new eyeshadow palette in a long time, because I see the new ones and I'm like, oh, that is stunning, like that's so pretty. I probably have things that I can whip up together to make things look similar, you know? That being said, if someone gave me a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette, I would gladly accept the Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. But I hope that this was kind of fun, helpful maybe, probably not that helpful, but like fun to see what I use and why I use each of these palettes. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Lovely. Lovely. God damn.